Hi, this evening we are talking about Indian courts and misogyny. Yes, it's not new, but recently underlined by statements made by the Chief Justice of India. On the 1st of March 2021, the Honourable Chief Justice S.A. Bobde asked a government employee seeking protection from arrest in a rape case if he was willing to marry the survivor as a settlement. I'll quote the observation. If you want to marry her, we can help. If not, you lose your job and go to jail. It is hard to fathom why the court in any scenario would see marriage as commensurate or justice in a redressal of rape case, especially since it came to light that parties other than the survivor had tried to settle this matter amongst themselves. A previous agreement between the mother of the girl and the mother of the rape accused about marriage when the girl turned 18. So, this is not just a rape case, though we hate to make that distinction. The Supreme Court was hearing a petition by Mohit Subhash Jawan, a technician with a state bar company. He allegedly raped a 16-year-old schoolgirl and faces charges under POCSO. To be precise, Mohit allegedly raped the girl repeatedly after gagging her, tying her hands and legs, followed by intimidation, including threats to throw acid on her, burn her with petrol, eliminate her brother. All of this designed to silence her from complaining about the sexual assault. When she came forward, regardless, which is a brave act on its own, the accused pleaded that he will lose a secure government job if arrested. He has got protection from arrest for 4 weeks. In fact, one of the observations in court were, you should have thought before seducing and raping the young girl. Now, seduction explicitly excludes force and intimidation, while rape definitely includes one of those two. To pair seduction and rape and put marriage on the table as a solution, we must think, who are we giving justice to? Also, the young girl's consent on whether she could ever think about marrying her rapist was deemed irrelevant to this case. Many have come forward to ask the Chief Justice to rethink his remarks. In fact, more than anger and outrage, a comment like this from the highest court of this land only shows how much work we have to do, and not just as that annual party we throw every year on Women's Day.
A few weeks ago, while interpreting what constitutes a sexual assault with a minor under POCSO, Justice Pushpa Ganeriwala at the Bombay High Court ruled that there must be skin-to-skin contact with sexual intent, and groping is not sufficient. Ironically, the same Supreme Court that made the comments that prompted this video stayed that ruling by Justice Pushpa. The constant in many observations and judgments when it comes to sexual assault or rape is how a woman should be, how she should react, how she should behave upon being raped. In June 2020, while granting bail to the accused in a rape case, the Karnataka High Court's Justice Krishna S. Dikshit felt that the rape survivor failed to appear like a victim. It was unbecoming of an Indian woman to sleep after rape because that is not how our women react, he said. In 2017, the Punjab and Haryana High Court granted bail to 3 gang rape convicts, stating that the victim's statements stemmed from a promiscuous attitude. Or the 2016 acquittal of filmmaker Mahmood Farooqi, who was sentenced to 7 years in prison for raping a woman. The Delhi High Court had said then, a feeble no may mean a yes. Uski na mein uski haan hai. I'm sure you've seen that in the movies. A petition filed against the feeble no judgment was dismissed by the Supreme Court.
Okay, so let us read a few more. Her conduct during the alleged ordeal is not at all consistent with those of an unwilling, terrified, and anguished victim of forcible intercourse. That's Raja versus the state of Karnataka. Let me read another one. The survivor was supposed to attack the appellant like a wild animal, but she did not even resist. Thus, her conduct suggested only and only her consent and will. That's Dilip versus the state of Madhya Pradesh. In fact, there have been other instances of courtrooms actually acknowledging the crime but awarding trivial, problematic solutions and punishments. The Madhya Pradesh High Court, while imposing a bail condition for a rape accused, asked him to get a rakhi tied from the survivor and promised to protect her for all times to come. In November 2019, a 15-year-old minor was molested by 3 men in Bihar. The court directed the accused to apologize to the minor for 15 consecutive days and then do community service for 8 days in her school. In 2015, the Madras High Court granted bail to a convicted rapist of a 15-year-old girl and actually referred the matter to a meditation center. And the aim of this meditation was to arrange for the marriage of the rapist with the victim. In fact, Pallavi has a recent case from March.
Yes, this involves rape charges brought by a woman against a man during the course of a live-in relationship, where she submitted medical records as evidence of rape and physical assault. The Chief Justice of India, while hearing the case, wondered, and I quote, if a man and a woman are living together, however insincerely, as man and wife, the man may be brutal and may do many wrongs, but can you call sex between them rape? End quote. Now you can argue that in this case his hands were tied due to the law itself. India remains one of 36 countries where it is not a crime for a man to rape his wife. Or to put it more accurately, an exemption under Section 375 of the Indian Penal Code exempts forced sexual intercourse by the husband from penal consequences. The argument is, as has been reiterated by various governments, that marriage implies the continued, the non-stop consent of the woman. If someone had no context outside of this video, they would think that in India, rape, if followed by marriage, could absolve a crime. And rape after marriage is not punishable. And the ideal rape survivor is a caricature. A fixed male idea defines how she should act, react, behave, and sleep.
The larger point we are trying to make in this video goes beyond the ill-thought observations of one judge. The sexism is systemic to the judiciary as it is to many other institutions in this country. In fact, a 2018 study conducted by the National Law University in Delhi analyzed 50 cases of rape heard before the Supreme Court. That study revealed that judges often have a stereotypical perception of rape victims. It also found that a female judge on the bench leads to a sharp decline in sexist comments. Unfortunately, there aren't many to go around. The legal profession is a bit of an all-boys club. There are only 2 women judges in the Supreme Court. In fact, since its inception 70 years ago, only 8 women have been appointed as judges to the Supreme Court. Only 2 women have ever been part of the top court's collegium, and that's a high-powered body responsible for appointing judges to high courts.
All 26 high courts across the country are currently headed by men. Of the 1,079 judges who sit at the various high courts, only 82 are women. And the bench fares just as poorly. Only 17 women are designated as senior advocates in the Supreme Court, as opposed to 403 men. In the Delhi High Court, 8 women are designated seniors, while 229 men have that tag. And in the Bombay High Court, there are 157 male senior advocates and only 6 women senior lawyers. Until now, we have never had a female Attorney General or Solicitor General. This data was provided by the Attorney General to the Supreme Court 3 months ago.
We'll stop here, not because we can't dig further on the discrimination women lawyers face, or women's access to legal remedy, or the state of our lower judiciary, or sexual harassment allegations within the apex court, but because in 2021, even the highest courts of this land perhaps need to go back to the books. Rape demands justice, not marriage. Pallavi and Self believe this is work worthy of your time and attention. So do share this video with your friends, your colleagues, your family members, and help us reach an audience quite like yourself. We'll see you again very soon. Thank you for your time.